Look around. In a world rich with its collection of human stories, it's remarkable to consider that we all have something in common. The first chapter. We were born. And then what? Then what?
Well, if you think about a young child in those first 5 years, they learn how to hold their head up, they learn how to roll over, they learn how to walk, they learn how to talk. No other time in our lives is growth and development that rapid.
In the first 3 years of a child's life, 700 new connections between cells in the brain are formed each second. But the story isn't always joyful.
It was a very scary time for me and Janine, and we were first-time parents. And after she was born at 30 weeks, she was born at 2 pounds, 11 ounces. She was so small I could put her head in the palm of my hand, and her toes would touch my elbow.
What happens next for a family like the Radkes changes the future of that child, and in turn, the future of us all. Our classrooms, our social services, our health and prison systems, our taxes, all have connections to that moment. And in Southwest Kansas, we have a visionary group of professionals who are dedicated to transforming that moment. They are the Russell Child Development Center, building a brighter future. For more than 50 years, Russell has been developing programs and services to help families build their brighter future. Some literally need help learning how to crawl before they can walk.
So the caseworker, she explained how this was going to happen. She described it as an army crawl, putting one arm up, then another arm, and then scooting the body up. And then she would take Jacqueline's arms and she would place one here, to help the baby Jacqueline scoot up. And it was just a hands-on, caring, very thoughtful, very compassionate, very confident that this was going to work and this was going to be the best for Jacqueline.
Tiny K is an early intervention program, one Russell Child Development Center is best known for. They provide an array of support services for infants and toddlers with developmental delays and disabilities. When Dr. Michael Schull arrived in Garden City in 1988, he was impressed to find these services available here, and still is.
People would have to travel 4 hours to Wichita, 6 hours to Denver, 7 hours to Kansas City to get similar services. A lot of times when kids are sent back from Wichita or from Denver or from Kansas City, they have appointments to follow up with specialists there, and then they find that we can get those services here in Garden City. And the services are available free of charge to the families. It's really quite amazing.
Yes, the services are free, and the quality of staff over the years has been consistently remarkable.
It's great to see such a collection of people all in one place that want to help children so much.
They're amazing. They inspire me every day. I just try to provide the environment and the resources they need so that they can go out into all of the counties that we serve and do the amazing work that they do.
Nancy Goodman is a speech therapist. She joined Russell because she likes working with families, which is an important part of Russell's approach. For a child to grow and develop, it's a team effort.
One of my favorite parts of my job is going on visits and visiting with the families and helping them, but then the one day that I go and then the little guys using words, and for the first time just to get to hear their sweet voice, and it just comes out with all these sweet little words that I thought I wasn't sure I would ever get to hear some of those things, and I know the moms and the dads are very pleased to hear those things too.
Language skills are vital for everyone. By the age of 18 months, when we're learning to talk and think and follow directions, differences in vocabulary can really start to shape our future. When Dr. Matt Gerstberger's young daughter was having a speech delay, he came to Russell Child Development.
It's fantastic. We didn't have to wait till she was in school to find out that she was behind on what she was learning. She had about 7 or 8 words when we sought services as a 2-year-old. And within 18 months, she had surpassed what was expected for her age level. And now we can't get her to stop talking. So,
Larice and Jess Schwieterman had been married for 13 years when they had their first child, Avery. She was born 2.5 months early and had many challenges.
It's a lot like the stages of mourning. You have to mourn the child that you thought you were going to have, that now you've got this other child. They're beautiful, you love them, but there's so many challenges that you never thought you would have to deal with.
Staff from Russell Child Development came out to the Schwietermans' farm twice a month for the first 3 years of Avery's life.
I was very impressed because Garden is about 60 miles from where we live, and that is the basis of the program, is that they come to your house and see your child in their home setting with their high chair, with their toys, with their family members that live there, even dogs.
From its base in Garden City, Russell Child Development Center serves 19 counties in southwest Kansas and has satellite offices in Dodge City, Liberal, and Scott City. Russell's Building Blocks project has a variety of strategies to help support families and encourage early learning. For example, parenting seminars and in-home coaching are available to all families in the area. Parent-child playgroups are held twice a month in more than 30 locations across the 19-county region. The activity times help the children develop faster and encourage early literacy. These and other Russell programs help build a brighter future for all of our families with young children, and a brighter future for Southwest Kansas by creating better prepared students, employees, citizens, and leaders. Russell Child Development Center programs are uniquely tailored to the strengths and needs of individual communities.
You know, we start with conversations and we start with relationships, and we look at what a community's strengths are. We do a lot of partnering with schools, with libraries, with health departments, hospitals, child care providers. Anywhere where there's a place where families come, we can partner with.
Russell's partners from around the region meet several times a year to share information and success stories and get new ideas from each other. This meeting, by the way, is not being held at Russell's headquarters.
The building we are currently in is a beautiful building that our founders provided for us, and over the years our programs and activities have grown so quickly that we are just bursting at the seams.
Russell Child Development Center was built in a residential area with limited parking. As you walk around it today, you can see it was built for a much smaller staff. Now 5 or 6 people may share a small office space, making it very difficult to hold the confidential conversations their work requires. Every corner, shelf, and hallway of the building is utilized. Russell often writes grants that allow them to help families with free car seats, breast pumps, baby beds, and more. They have to be stored somewhere. There is barely room in the building to hold a full staff meeting. Team meetings spill into storage areas, and training and professional development sessions have to be held off-site. And so, after a half-century of growth and success, Russell Child Development Center is embarking on a plan for the decades ahead. Land for a new building has been donated on the northeast edge of Garden City, which will allow them to create a dynamic hub of services for 19 counties.
We're excited about the location of the new facility for several reasons. The accessibility to getting in and out of town quickly for our staff to be able to travel to the counties that they serve. We will be much more visible to families and partners who need to locate us. And we will just be in an area where we have more space and room to grow.
A capital campaign is underway to pay for the building and maintain it, as well as provide stable funding for Russell's programs, which are under constant threat of budget cuts. Your support will help thousands of children in southwest Kansas each year and strengthen our community.
Russell is good for the community, for the children and the parents that it serves, but it also allows us to bring very highly skilled workers and jobs into this community. which has a net positive impact for everyone. Those dollars, those tax dollars and donation dollars, are making an impact right here in Southwest Kansas instead of being in another community.
And in the end, we are all helping to change the world, one family at a time. Remember the Radkes? Here's the rest of the story.
She is your typical happy, healthy teenager. She enjoys running outside. She enjoys her friends. No developmental difficulties. You would never know that she was born so early, and you would never know that she needed those skills, which to me is an ultimate success story, because she received the skills that influenced her for the rest of her life.
Russell Child Development Center, building a brighter future for Southwest Kansas.